What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And now that the Star Wars Outlaws launch has been revealed to be a total dumpster fire with sales numbers much lower than the company expected, it seems that investors are finally turning on Ubisoft.
What is this? What is this? Where's all the money?
That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs. Go ahead and add it up. Every cent's accounted for.
Ubisoft stock has been in freefall ever since Star Wars Outlaws came out, and now at least one large investor is publicly asking for the company to go private, meaning they would buy all the shares back from investors, and he's asking for them to install a new management team. That's probably good advice, especially considering how epically Ubisoft fumbled the ball with Star Wars Outlaws. Even the journalist class out there are finally admitting that the main character looks like something that's better off flushed as soon as possible. At the end of the day, this company needed a big win with Star Wars Outlaws, and instead, they've suffered a distinct loss. They are crash landing into a pile of Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where I keep a list of woke and DEI infected games pinned to my account at all times for your reference. My handle on there is Dr. Disaster 1. But holy cow, where do I begin with the shit show that Ubisoft has created for themselves? The past few years has been awful for this company. Last year, they reported losses of damn near €500 million, and this year they're up a bit, but they are nowhere near the numbers that they need to be in order to make back all their investments. 2024 was supposed to be a massive year for the company. They had Skull and Bones released at the start of the year, Star Wars Outlaws came out this summer, and Assassin's Creed Shadows at the end of the year, but it appears as though they will not come close to recouping the money that they invested banking on this big year. And frankly, it's because this company insists on going to war with a large chunk of the gamers out there who should be their customers. In order to appeal to the modern audience, they continuously wade intentionally right into controversy. Look at how they told customers to get comfortable not owning their games. That was a PR nightmare. Look at how they decided that after damn near 2 decades of gamers begging for an Assassin's Creed game to be set in ancient Japan, they decided to go out of their way to subvert our expectations and make the main character a black dude. It doesn't matter if you like the idea or not. This was a controversy they could and should have avoided. And then, with Star Wars Outlaws, they intentionally made the character ugly as sin, despite the fact that the model that played the character is gorgeous. It amuses me that Humberly Gonzalez, the gal who plays Kay Vess, has talked about how she hopes to play the character in live action someday. They will literally need monster movie makeup in order to get her to play the character, and the media is finally admitting that we were right. The character's face looks bad. Really bad. Now, naturally, they're making excuses. They're blaming the developers for being lazy and or the mocap tech that they had access to being shoddy, but come on. This is Ubisoft we're talking about here, one of the biggest names in the industry. They should be able to afford great technology and great developers. You can't convince me that this was not deliberate, but the media refuses to admit that we were right, that The reason these female characters in games these days are consistently ugly is because these devs are trying to make a point, but in the process, they are alienating customers, and they haven't picked up enough new customers to replace us because the modern audience doesn't want to play these games, and in fact, nobody wants to play ugly games. Period. And now, Star Wars Outlaws isn't selling. As anecdotal evidence of this, I know someone who's in charge of 9 retail stores that sell games, and across all 9 stores, I've been informed that they have sold 25 copies of Star Wars Outlaws, and that is including the 17 pre-orders. That is less than 3 copies per store, and these are in high population areas. Granted, these days, a lot of people are certainly buying games digitally instead of physically, which is a poor choice if it can be helped, in my opinion, but still, less than 3 copies per store is apocalyptically bad. This is the second flop of a major title in 2024 for Ubisoft, right after Skull and Bones, and there's no reason to think that Assassin's Creed Shadows will be that much stronger. Now, I do think that the Assassin's Creed brand is in a better place than Star Wars, though, to be fair, there are flushed turds that are in a better place than Star Wars right now, but I just don't see Assassin's Creed making the kind of impact that Ubisoft needs in order to overturn the massive investments and terrible financial news from the past few years for this company. Ubisoft elected to go to war with a large chunk of gamers. The media always goes to bat for them, calling us a vocal minority. Those of us who criticize Ubisoft, we're just a vocal minority. But they've recently started calling us very annoying as well. They're calling us a very annoying, very vocal minority. I've seen that terminology thrown around a lot lately, which is both humorous and good news, because it means that we are getting to them, because the truth is likely reaching their ears finally. In order for these companies to continue to thrive, or even exist in the case of Ubisoft, they are going to need the so-called chuds. They need us to buy their games. So yeah, the investor calling for Ubisoft to fire their management team, that's a person who knows what's up. That sounds like someone who is sick and tired of the controversy and who would like to see a return on their investment. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop some mockery of these Ubisoft dingleberries in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booze.